What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to scrape leads from TikTok automatically by creating a simple workflow in N8N. Let's get started. In N8N, I've created a workflow that I've renamed to TikTok leads scraper. You're going to start by adding the first step. I'm going to choose manual trigger over here. Now, to scrape leads from TikTok, I'm going to use this tool called Apify. Apify is an incredible tool that you can use to scrape any website and automate projects. To get 30% off your first subscription to this tool, just use the link in the description to sign up and create your account. After creating your account, head over to Apify store. And here, we're going to search for the website that we like to scrape. In our case, we like to scrape TikTok. So I'll search for TikTok email scraper to get the leads with your contact information already available. So here you can see we have over 500 tools we can use to scrape websites like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and more. In our case, we like to scrape leads from TikTok. So I'll use all these tools right here. So I'll use this tool. So I'll open this tool on a new tab. And this is a tool that we're going to use to scrape leads from TikTok. So all we have to do is add a search keyword right here and add the number of leads that we like to scrape. So here we can add a keyword like marketing, and we can try to scrape 10 leads. So to do that, I'll start right here. You can see we're being given a free trial of 2 hours. So to run the actor, I'll click on run actor right here and click on save and start to scrape our leads. And I click on output. You can see our actor is getting our data. Let's give it a second. Here, you can see we successfully scraped 10 leads using marketing as our keyword. So here we go. The emails, the leads, got the keyword, their bio, description, their title, and their TikTok page URL over here. So now instead of having to manually scrape our leads right here in Apify, we can create a workflow in N8N that automatically scrapes our leads and adds the leads to a spreadsheet. Now, since we are using a keyword to scrape our leads, we're going to add a keyword to a spreadsheet. In Google Sheets, I've created a spreadsheet that I've renamed to TikTok leads spreadsheet. In this spreadsheet, I've created a sheet that I've renamed to keywords. And here, we're adding our keyword and the number of leads that we like to scrape. Okay. So now to get our sheet, here, I'll search for Google Sheets and click on Google Sheets. And then here, I'll click on Get Rows in Sheet Node. Here, you'll need to create a new credential and click on Sign In with your Google account over here to connect your account to N8N. So to do that, on the new window that pops up, choose the account that you'd like to connect to N8N. And your connection will be created. Since I had already done that, I'm going to close this right here. And here I'm going to find our spreadsheet, which is this spreadsheet right here. Our sheet is going to be the keywords sheet. And here I'll click on execute step to get our keyword. You can see we're getting our keyword and the number of leads that we like to scrape. So here I rename this node to get keywords. And click on rename right here. Now using the keyword, we can scrape our leads from TikTok using Apify. So here I'll search for Apify and click on Apify right here. Then here you'll need to install it first if you haven't installed it yet. Then after installing it, click on the Run an Actor node. Here you'll need to create a new credential to connect your account to N8N. To do that, just click on Connect My Account right here. And then on the new window that pops up, choose the account that you'd like to connect to N8N. And I'll click on Allow Access. And here you can see that our connection was created successfully. Here, I'll close this window. And here we'd like to run an actor. I'm going to choose a recently used actor. And then here we're going to find our actor, which is actor right here. And here we're going to input our JSON. Now, to add our JSON, I'll click on expression right here, expand it right here to add our JSON over here. To get our JSON, I'll go back to our tool and click on our tool right here, which says manual in JSON. Click on JSON. And here, we're going to copy our JSON. And then I'll paste our JSON right here. Now, instead of having to manually input our keyword, here, we're going to map it right here. Same with the number of leads we'd like to scrape over here. And then now to scrape our leads right here in Apify, I'll click on execute step right here. You can see it's executing our node. Let's give it a second for it to complete scraping our leads. Here, you can see our node was executed successfully and we succeeded in scraping our leads. Right here, you can see we got our default dataset ID over here. So now to get our leads, here, I'll search for Apify again and click on Apify. This time around, I'm going to click on the Get Dataset Items node. And here we're going to map the default dataset ID right here. So I'll map it over here, and then I'll click on execute step to get our leads. You can see we got a total of 10 leads using marketing as our keyword, and we got the email addresses, title, URL, the description right here. Here, I renamed this node to TikTok lead scraper, and here I renamed this node to get TikTok leads. Here, now with our leads over here, we can proceed to add our leads to a spreadsheet. In our Google Sheets, I've also created another sheet that I've named to TikTok leads. Here's where we're going to add our leads. We're going to add the keyword that we used to scrape the leads. So we're going to add the title, the email address, description, their profile, URL, subject line, and the personalized email we're going to generate for these leads. So to add our leads data to a spreadsheet, here I'll search for Google Sheets again, click on Google Sheets, and here I'll click on append row in sheet node. Here I'm going to find our document again, choose this document in our sheet. This time around is going to be the TikTok leads sheet. And here we're going to map values to our columns in our spreadsheet with the data that we scraped in Apify. So for the keyword, I'm going to grab the keyword over here, map it over here. Title, I'm going to map it over here. Email address, we're going to map it over here. Description, we're going to map it over here. And the URL, we're going to map it over here. The subject line and the call outreach email, we're going to generate both of them next. But for now, I'll click on execute step right here to add our leads data to our spreadsheet. You can see our node was executed successfully, and here we can rename this node to TikTok leads and click on rename right here. Now, when I open our spreadsheet, here you can see we successfully added all this data to our spreadsheet over here. So we added the keyword that we used, which was marketing. So added the title, the email addresses, description, and the leads profile URL right here. So now we can proceed and generate a personalized call outreach emails that we can send our leads since we have their contact information right here. So to do that in our workflow, we're going to start by adding a condition to ensure that we have their contact information available. So here I'll add the condition using the if else node right here. And here you can say that the email address has to exist in order to proceed. And take it a step further and say that the description has to exist since we're going to use the description to generate a personalized called outreach email. Here you can also add the title since the title is and say that it also has to exist. And then I'll click on execute step right here to save all these met our conditions. You can see they all met our conditions, which is awesome. But if the output was in the false branch here, we're going to do nothing. So I'll search for the do nothing node over here. Since the output was in the true branch, we're going to proceed and set up our workflow. So here we have a total of 10 leads. So here I'll limit the leads to only 2 instead of having to send outreach emails to the leads. So here I'll limit the leads using the limit node over here. So I'll search for the limit node and click on it. And here I'm going to limit the leads to only 2. And then I'll execute it right here. You can see here we got our 2 leads. You can proceed and generate personalized call outreach emails for these 2 leads and send them the outreach emails. So to generate the personalized outreach emails for the leads, we're going to use an AI agent. So in AI, I'll click on AI agent, and here I'll define below, then add the prompt and the system message over here. Now, the prompt for AI agent could be on the lines of you're an expert email copywriter. The system message could be on the lines of your task is to write a highly personalized, natural sounding cold email based only on the information provided about a TikTok lead. And here we are in the input data, we're in the title, bio, and the profile URL. Then we're also adding a couple of rules that we like the AI to follow. We're telling the AI to open with a specific, genuine compliment or observation about the lead based on their TikTok bio, content style, or niche. Keep the tone warm, conversational, and professional. It should sound like a real person wrote it. Avoid vague praise, like you're doing amazing work. Be concrete and context aware. Keep the email short and tight, maximum of 5 sentences. And then here we're planning the structure for our call email. The first line will be a personalized compliment or hook. Second line will be a quick intro of who I am and what I do. The line will be a explanation of how this could help the lead based on their content or niche. And the last line will be a light, natural call to action. For example, you can tell the lead, are you open to exploring, open to a quick chat, or would you like to see how the system works? Then number 6, telling the AI agent, do not invent facts not in the input. If the bio is empty, write a polite and general message. Avoid overused opening like I hope you're doing well. Do not use dashes or include placeholders like your name or company name. Output the results in clean JSON format with exactly 2 keys, the subject line and email body. The first line of the email should be a personalized compliment or insight pulled directly from TikTok bio or content theme. And the ending should include a compelling but light call to action tailored to that creator. here. Then here, we're going to require a specific output format. And here, click on the output parser and click on structured output parser here to add a JSON example for output. So here, we'd like to output the subject line and the email body right here. Here, I'll drag this to the top right here. Then we're going to add a chat model over here. I'm going to choose OpenAI chat model. And here, you need to create your credential to connect your OpenAI account to N8N. So from your OpenAI API, add your API key right here and click on Save to create your credential. Then here, I'm going to choose our model. You can choose any of these models right here. I'm going to stick with GPT 4.1 mini and drag this node right here at the top. The other thing that we're going to add is the memory. I'm going to choose a simple memory over here. I'm going to choose to define below and add the key over here. So the key, we can add any key. In case I'm going to choose to delete as the key and drag it to the top right here. Here. Then here, I rename this node to Outreach AI Agent. And then here, I'll click on rename. Here. So now I'll open this node and click on execute step to generate a personalized call outreach email for both of our leads. You can see our node was executed successfully. When I click on table, you can see the personalized subject line and email body that we generated for both of our leads right here. So the subject line for our first lead is on the lines of love your clear, engaging social media tips on TikTok. And the email body is on the lines of hi Haley, I appreciate how you break down social media marketing strategies into digestible, actionable content that clarity clearly resonates with your large audience. I build AI automation tailored for marketing agencies to streamline and scale their client campaigns efficiently. Considering your impressive following and content style, integrating AI could save you time and enhance your service offerings. Would you be open to a quick chat to explore how it might fit your workflow? It's a very personalized cold email you can send to this lead. The other lead's subject line is on the lines of impressed by how you drive growth with your marketing insights. The email body is on the lines of hi Hannah, I'm really impressed by how you've built a strong community with nearly 1 million followers by sharing sharp marketing and growth strategies on TikTok. I create AI automations designed specifically for marketing agencies to streamline their efforts and amplify impact. This could help you manage and scale campaigns more efficiently while keeping your content authentic and engaging. Would you be open to a quick chat to see how it could support your work? It's a very personalized subject line and email body that we generated for this lead right here. It's amazing. Now, since we have our leads contact information right here, and we've generated a personalized subject line and email body for the leads, now we can proceed and send the leads the outreach emails. To do that here, I'm going to start by waiting a few seconds. So I'll search for the wait node over here. You can wait, let's say 3 seconds. And here I'm going to rename this node to wait 3 seconds. And click on rename right here. Then here, I'll execute this node. Now here, I'll proceed to send our leads the called emails using Gmail. So I'll search for Gmail right here and click on Gmail. Then here, I'll click on send a message node right here. Then here, we're going to map our email, subject line, and email body. So get the email address. I'm going to grab the email addresses from our spreadsheet right here. Subject line, we're going to map the subject line right here. Email type, we're going to choose text, and the email body is right here. So I'll map the email bodies over here. Now, the next thing that we're going to do here is I'll click on add options, and I click on append N8N attribution and turn this to off. And then I'll click on execute step right here. Our node was executed successfully. So here, I rename this node to send outreach emails and click on rename right here. Now then, the last thing that we're going to do here is after we sent our leads the call emails, to now proceed to update the subject line and email body columns in our spreadsheet with the subject line and email body that we generated using our AI agent. So to do that, here, I'll search for Google Sheets and click on Google Sheets. Then I'll click on update row in sheet node. Here I'm going to find our document, which is this document, and our sheets, which is TikTok leads sheet. Here I'm going to select the column that I would like to match. I'm going to choose email. And here we're going to map the email. Here. Now I would like to update the subject line and the email body. So I'll map the subject line right here and the email body right here. And then I'll click on execute step right here to update our columns with the subject line and email body. You can see our node was executed successfully. Here, I'll rename our node to update subject line and email column. Then I'll click on rename. And the last thing that we're going to do here is we're going to complete our workflow. So I'll search for the do nothing node right here and click on it. Then I'll execute this node to complete our workflow. You can see our node was executed successfully. That's awesome. Now, when you open our spreadsheet, you can see we updated the subject line and the personalized outreach emails column for 2 leads right here. So we added the subject lines over here and the personalized outreach emails that we generated using our AI agent over here, using this workflow over here. So our workflow works perfectly. So here we're getting the keyword and the number of leads that we'd like to scrape from our spreadsheet over here. And then we're using the keyword to scrape leads from TikTok using this tool in Apify. And here we're getting our leads, and we're adding our leads to our spreadsheet. TikTok leads sheet. Here we're adding the keyword that we use to scrape the leads, the title, email address, description, and the TikTok profile URLs. And then if their contact information is available, we're then proceeding to generate personalized outreach emails for leads. And we're waiting a few seconds and then sending the outreach emails to our leads via Gmail. Then we're updating the subject line and the email column in our spreadsheet with the subject line and the email body that we generated using this AI agent, as you can see over here. So here are the subject lines and the email bodies over here using this workflow that we created here in N8N. So we can try testing our workflow to see how it works. To test our workflow in our keywords sheet here, we can use a different keyword. For example, we can use automation as our keyword. And then now to scrape our leads, and come and add our leads over here with your data. I'll click on execute workflow over here. Here, you can see that our workflow was executed successfully. So we got the keywords and the number of leads that we would like to scrape from our spreadsheet over here. So we got the automation keyword and the number of leads. Then we use the keyword to scrape leads from TikTok using this tool in Apify. Then we got our leads over here, got a total of 10 leads. Then we added the leads to our spreadsheet. Then here you can see it met our conditions, contact information, description, and the title exist. Then we're using the data to generate a personalized call outreach emails for each of our leads. Then we're waiting a few seconds and then sending the outreach emails to our leads using Gmail. Then we're updating the subject line and the email column with the subject line and email body that we generated using this AI agent. And then we're completing our workflow over here. Now, when I open our spreadsheet, you can see we added 10 more leads right here. So here we added the keyword that we use to scrape the leads, chose automation, and we added the title of the leads, email addresses, description, profile URLs. And then from the two leads, we added subject line and the email bodies that we generated using our workflow right here. So you can see the personalized subject lines and the email bodies that we generated for our two leads over here using this workflow that we created in N8N. Now, if you'd like me to create this workflow for you or a workflow similar to this one, just click the first link in the description to schedule a call with me. On the call, we'll discuss into details the workflow that you'd like me to create for you. Then I'll proceed to create the workflow for you. But if you enjoyed this video and you have an AI agent or a workflow in mind that you'd like me to create using N8N, just comment it down below in the comment section. I read all the comments, and if I land on your comment and I find it intriguing, I'll come back on a future video showing you how to create the entire workflow or AI agent from scratch using N8N. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.